I'm going to give you some books to read so you don't act stupid. Welcome back, Jasper's Book Club again, and only have 2 books this time. I know people have been telling me, you're giving us so many books we can't possibly read them all. Okay, each one of them is about 800 pages, but it's still just 2 books. You know, besides political economy, I do environmental studies too. So I wanted to include today is 2 books on environmental issues, but also has the political side. The first one here, and they're both by Douglas Brinkley, who's a fascinating biographer. This is the Wilderness Warrior, Theodore Roosevelt and the Crusade for America. I want to read you just the first paragraph of this because it's amazing. It says, on a wintry morning in 1903, President Theodore Roosevelt arrived at the White House cabinet meeting unexpectedly and with great exuberance. Something of a genuine importance had obviously just happened. All eyes were fixated on Roosevelt, who was quaking like a dervish with either excitement or agitation. It was unclear which. Having endured the assassination of 3 Republican presidents, Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, and William McKinley, Roosevelt's so-called kitchen cabinet at least had the consolation of knowing that their boss, at the moment, was out of harm's way. Still, they leaned forward, bracing for the worst. Quote, "Gentlemen, do you know what happened this morning?" Roosevelt breathlessly asked as everyone leaned forward with bated breath for the bad news. "Just now, I saw a chestnut-sided warbler. And this is only February." Can you see Donald Trump walking in there and talking about having just seen a bird? This is what's wonderful about this book. You really learn to see how Teddy Roosevelt, he was a birder. He loved birds. He couldn't see very well, so he learned the bird song so well with just his hearing. He also did so many things as far as he's the original conservationist and saved so many areas of this country. His last year in office, even after the election, when he was a lame duck, he signed a proclamation, executive order really, to set up the Deer Flat Wildlife Refuge, which we know just south of the campus here with Lake Lowell. That was created by this guy. So if you go down there, you see the eagles, all the wildlife that's down there at Deer Flats. It's because of Teddy Roosevelt. The other book, again, Douglas Brinkley again, and by Roosevelt's kind of like his nephew, the other Roosevelt, Rightful Heritage, Franklin D. Roosevelt and the Land of America. Franklin Roosevelt, not a birder. He was a tree guy. He's kind of like the Lorax or Steve Maughan. He just loves trees. And you can see in the picture here how he's feeling the tree. This is an amazing book. 2 things you really want to look at in here. First, his creation of the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, taking young boys and having them go out into the wilderness and build trails and do other improvements that helped out with the environment. What's really fascinating about that is, one, it helped out the environment, but also helped out get these boys in the Depression, and almost all boys, going out there and building them up, getting them out of the cities. But these boys went on, they were the greatest generation. They went from there to go on to fight and win World War II. The other thing that's fascinating is in 1937, Franklin Roosevelt and his wife Eleanor came out west to look at especially the Grand Coulee Dam, which was being built. But before he got to the Grand Coulee Dam, he also wanted to see the Oahe Dam. Stopped off in Boise, and on his way from Boise to the Oahe Dam, made a stop in Caldwell, where the College of Idaho. And we have a picture of him on campus. It's not a really good picture of Franklin and Eleanor. It's a great picture of the dean at the time. But you can see Sterry Hall in the background. This is an amazing book, and you look at all the things, even during the depths of the Depression, even during the World War II, when the country was fighting for its life, Franklin Roosevelt still knew there was importance in conservation and protecting our environment, that was important for the economy and really important for the whole nation. That's it for the book club this week. Remember, don't be stupid. Do your reading.